What is going on, guys? Today we're looking at the best Prem defenders. Let's get straight into it with the left backs. We've got a decent amount, and I think Prem is one of them ones that everybody goes to, and we tend to find the best cards, at least some that are in the top division. Naturally, you will always find some better ones everywhere else, and I have got a full list of everybody best meta defenders if you want to check that on the channel. But in terms of Prem, we've got a good amount of left backs. Yes, Cancelo can play left and right back. I've put him in the left back just to show that he's still there. He's definitely one of them ones now that is more of a rarity item, as he obviously is Barcelona. He's got plenty of better cards than that, and it's one of them ones that we've had for so many years now, and it's very strange to not have him going against Robertson, especially when we did have Cancelo. It was only one position. He could either be a left back or a left wing back. There was no actual left back and right back in it, so it is nice to see him back in it at the very minimum on a transfer deal. We then have Lamperty, one of the very first Team of the Week. So I'm pretty sure he was like Team of the Week 2 or 3. He was definitely ahead of his time beyond belief. 91 on the pace, 81 defending. The physicality is a little bit of a mix, and most definitely is kind of looking in, I'd say even a kind of a low budget now, but with informs rising, 44k on a discard inform is absolutely crazy at the minute. So I would wait if you are looking for a Lamperty, if you're maybe trying to do a Brighton team or a Ghanaian team. I'd definitely wait until them Team of the Weeks are down, if they ever go down. We have got Zinchenko in the radioactive. Nice for his nation, but naturally, I feel like if you're building a Prem team, you don't really need it. I'd say definitely if you're building a completely kind of mixed team, then yes, the radioactive is going to be really nice. The fact that he is Ukrainian, I don't feel like there's many other Ukrainians in the game that are going to be on that level to be in a starter team. Whereas I think Zinchenko's got a nice balance card. He could be quite good, like a lot of the left backs, in a shapeshifter centre mid role. CDM centre mid, he's got the stats for it already. They add an extra boost onto shooting. You've got yourself a pretty good box to box. We have Robertson, and not Robertson, 61,000 for an 86 left back as well. Great pace, bit more on that physicality, the defending, the dribbling. You add a shadow to this card or even an anchor, you are absolutely laughing. I'd probably say anchor more than anything, just to round off that pace, but then given the boost on the defending physical, he's most definitely not a bad card to get. Yes, the 3-star is okay for a left back. Realistically, I'd always like a little bit more on the weak foot if I could, but if you're looking for, again, a variety team, maybe you're looking for Alex Morgan, Smith, you're looking for maybe a Dempsey or something in the future, that is quite a nice American starter team, as well as adding some links in for the Prem. We then start in the final trio. We have John Anarise, who I think is okay. He's nostalgic in the game because of fact he is hero status, but realistically I've not been a fan of him for the addition. I feel like he would be one of them ones later on down the line. Once he gets a 90 plus card, he might become something better, but at the minute, for 58,000 coins, it kind of tells you all you need to know about him. The fact Robinson's more expensive is absolutely crazy. Whereas Havertz definitely puts himself in the category of one of the better left backs to get in the game. He's 6'3", he's got great stats throughout. He's obviously been changed from a cam into the left back. He's 160,000 coins as well, which is a very good price. You go with a shadow or an anchor for him, a 4-star. He most definitely is a left back that a lot of people are choosing at the moment. I know he can't be upgraded or anything along them lines, but it's definitely not a bad one, especially if you did miss out on Baka. He is a great substitute option, or even somebody that goes over her if you are struggling for the chemistry with her. Robinson, I've got it in my head now. Robertson, again, is the top dog. I feel like he is one of the ones that just continually upgrades himself. He gets kind of close to being caught up with as a left back in the Prem, and then he just blows away. I imagine we see another 91 of this card, a 90, and again, he will do the exact same. Once he gets a bit more skill move, weak foot as well, maybe we see him on a foot birthday, gets a bit more on that defending physical as well. He again goes back to that top spot that he is used to. Whether he's going to get a Team of the Year this year, I feel like probably not, but again, you never know. I feel like Team of the Year this year, the defense is a bit everywhere. There's not necessarily a set in stone defense, but I don't feel like he's going to get it, unfortunately. So he doesn't get that guaranteed actual bonus of like a 95, 94 Team of the Year. But that's all the left backs. I think out of my favourites, I feel like I've got to go with Havertz this time round. If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. Now, we don't have many right backs, so we'll go through them a little bit. We'll start off with Walker, as naturally this card can become, or is technically, a centre back as well. You can have an evolutions of Walker if you wanted to put him right back only, and you didn't necessarily want to spend the 560 on him. And I do think Walker as a centre back is just a God-given card. Naturally, every year we get one, and I'm glad we've got one already. 86 though, I kind of want a bit more of an increase there. It is unfortunately only a +1 or +2. Pretty sure I've got him as an 85. Was he? Pretty sure he was an 85, but he could be an 80. I think he's an 85. So in terms of Walker, it doesn't matter where you put him. He's quick, he's got defending, he's got physical, naturally a very good centre-back or right-back, and he gets the job absolutely done. In terms of the actual right-backs, we have got Trippier. Again, more rating than necessarily standard on the pitch, unfortunately. So I wouldn't necessarily say go out and buy him. We do have Trent, who I do like the long ball pass. That one is always going to be a nice kind of variation. But like most with the right back, left backs, like I said, he is waiting for that big boy shapeshifter card to put him back in the middle. Shapeshifter Trent is just absolutely levels. You get him as a 4-5 or a 5-5, 92, 93 rated. He is a class centre mid going into it. The right back is nice. Again, pace is going to be a bit of a downfall, especially with the amount of wingers that we've got at such a high level. So unfortunately, he does kind of lose out that little bit of balance. Adama though, great super sub coming in at 113. The one thing that I've always now got to remember with all of these cards is they may not be the number one right now, but you get an Adama with an evolutions, that's going to be an absolutely huge card in the future. Whether we see another Adama, I would say we probably don't. So I would make sure that you get this one done, because if we do get evolutions down the line, this is going to be a great card to put into him, because he's got the pace. Yes, the defending may not be all there, and you're probably using him more further up the field, kind of more as that winger rather than a right back, purely on basis of pace. He is still a card that is definitely good enough to be able to be put into an evolution card to make him that little bit better. But my fan favourite has got to be our boy Reece James. A beautiful Dynasties card. Him and his sister are both right wing, right back. 88 rated for him, 430,000 coins, and he is the king of the right backs at the moment, just because Walker is going in at centre back. Now we have got a lot of options at centre back then. We've got Harry Maguire as a new player of the month SBC that will be coming to an end very, very soon. We have Timber at 230,000 coins. Definitely one of them ones that I think he's kind of overlooked because of the caliber that we do have, but he's not a bad option if you really wanted a variety of a different cards. You just didn't want to go with the same cards every single time. I'm pretty sure Saliba is coming in as a winter wildcard as well, whether that's today or as an SBC later on down the line. That will be very interesting to see nonetheless. And we also have Ogbonna, great pace increase, beautiful defending physical, and still got the ability to be upgraded as well with that FC Pro Live. We also then have an array in the actual team. Starting at the top, we have Gravadal, beautiful centre back, but can also play left back. And like I said, with a lot of these, especially the ones, say we're looking at a Gravadal, we're looking at Romero, we're looking at Thiago Silva, in the future, they could be upgraded. With the Virgils and the companies, naturally, I don't see them being upgraded anytime soon. There's still a possibility for them, but most definitely, they have cards already that are next level already. Whereas, when you look at the Gravadals, a great card, very well balanced. Yes, the pace is a little bit less than most, but in terms of the defending physical, it adds that bonus to him. So if you do manage to get an evolutions that does require, say, maximum 84, 83 pace, he's already put himself in line. Naturally, the defending physical would need to be quite high as well, so we won't see that just yet, as naturally that could fall into a lot of categories as well. They'd have to really balance it out so nobody can slip through the net. That is absolutely incredible already. We then have King. I thought he was a great SBC in terms of the actual card. Anticipate as his playstyle plus, but unfortunately the price was just way off for him. I think 350 for him when you could have at that point got a Virgil for 110, 120. You could then go get a Varane for 5k. You could go finish Thiago Silva for 130. It just wasn't worth it in my opinion, especially with Blanc as well. If you kind of go outside the Prem, there was already a standard set from the centre backs. If he was about 200, I'd say he's definitely more worth it. He's got a great set of stats on him. He's obviously got the Anticipate, which for me is one of the better playstyle pluses, but unfortunately that price did lead him away, and we got loads of loans, so we didn't really need him in the first place. We have got Romero as well, 66,000 coins as SBC came at it. Obviously got a couple of upgrades on himself as an 88. Very nice card, defender 90, 88 physical, never going to grumble there. You're going to whack the shadow on him anyway, he's already got enough on that physicality. It boosts his pace up to 86, which definitely makes him a lot better when you kind of really put that card to the test. And naturally, he's only going to be beat by the big expensive cards, but for 66,000, that is not an awful one you could have got. We have Varane, one of the topper ones now, 600,000. Unfortunately, didn't really get the full upgrade. That could have been absolutely incredible for him, but he did feel a little bit short there. But he still has the ability of a Team of the Week to go into the Team of the Week evolutions and make himself an 88. I know there's a couple of discrepancies between the stats, but realistically you're not paying 600. I think when it comes to his inform, I don't think it's like crazy expensive, especially if you consider the upgrade as well. You've got him at 307 for obviously his normal inform, and then I want to say it was like 75k or something like that for the Team of the Week one. It's coming in at a whopping, if I can find it, it's not going to tell me, 50,000 coins or 250 FIFA points. For me, that isn't awful. For an 88 compared to paying the 600 for this card, paying 300 for his inform, 50k or 250 points for the next double upgrade, that for me is not bad at all. We have got Walker in the centre-back role again, which I'm more than happy to have. He's got the block playstyle plus, which is okay, but it's not necessarily my number one favourite. Anticipate aerial for at least one of the centre-backs is going to be nice if they're going up for the headers, but block is kind of just there, really. In terms of the centre-back, though, he's quick. He can be added even more pace, which is just absolutely dangerous with a Walker card. The fact that he's got 91 on his base, if you could put him at, well, when you could have put him as a centre-back, he'd end up with 97 pace, 92 physical. If you went with the shadow, turns him into a 90 rated centre-back anyway. If you was to go with the anchor, you'd end up with 95 pace, 91 defending, and 89 physical. It's a stupid card. It's absolutely brilliant. Thiago Silva, great SBC from the very start. To be honest, Centurions wasn't too far in. At 130, a nice pace increase on him. I can imagine we will find him going up again later on in the game. 90 on the defending as well is always going to be a big bonus. He has got the anticipate again. We then have Company. Beautiful UCL hero, one of my favourite centre-backs you can get today. His hero card itself was nice. He only got a +1, which again does mean both cards are viable options. If you just wanted to go for the base, then that one is still going to be just as good, which is always nice, and also has the anticipate. You'll see my kind of theory with this. Ruben Diaz as well. Company is a 10 out of 10, 100%, one of the better centre-backs in the entire game. Whereas Ruben Diaz, I was a little bit let down. When we got the leaks of the Trailblazer Diaz, I was like, okay, they're going to really ramp up that pace. His defending's already at a top level, so we only need like a +1 or a +2. But adding that no pace onto him from, I think he was, I'm pretty sure he got like a little increase, but it is very, very minimal. So it is a +3 he got on that pace from 62 to 65. I don't get why they didn't give him that big increase like they did to Hummels, like they did to somebody else that I cannot remember, where they got a big increase in their pay. I think it was Benusi, in fact. He needed that to be an absolute monster going into it. But whether we see him in Team of the Year, that'll be the big tell. Diego Carlos, good SBC, eventually managing to get all the way through into the 88 rated, which is very nice for 144k. Good stats across the board and a very solid card if you took that initial investment. But the best centre-back in the Prem has obviously got to be Virgil. 2.1 million for his 91 Winter Wildcard that can play strike if you really wanted to. But then you've got 140,000 for a -2 upgrade. Whatever version you go with, this is the centre-back of all centre-backs. We know this now from many, many games of FIFA. Virgil is absolutely meta than anybody. In terms of a defender, he's the only gold card that could stay in your team for quite some time. Naturally, everybody else gets upgrades. It doesn't matter the upgrades. Unless you're getting a Company Maldini, Company Lucio, two of the top centre-backs in the game, Virgil will always be that number one going into your team for the price. That's going to be everybody. Let me know down below if you have any of them, and I catch you all for 6 PM. Peace.